Good evening, everyone. Please join me for a nice rum and coke as we do another response to a chat topic. This one was introduced by my friend Jay Harvey, and he asked the question, what movies can you watch again and again and again and never get tired of seeing? Okay, so interesting question. Now, Jay brought this question up after he informed some of his friends on Facebook that he has seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 17 times. And this is over a week ago, so by now he's probably watched it many more times, which prompted, I think it was James Higgins, to say that it's probably time for an intervention to happen with Jay. So I think that's a good idea. Maybe a pastime for an intervention. So I thought I would go ahead and join in on this subject while the hospital personnel is on its way to Jay's house even now. Should be getting there very soon. So, Jay, thanks for bringing this topic up. Now, there are a lot of movies that I can watch again and again in the course of a year that just are in like comfort food for me, comfort films, right? But the only time that I ever kept a count of the amount of times the number of times that I watched a movie was way back in 1974 with this little classic. I call it a classic. That's Entertainment. 1974, MGM. Anybody remember seeing this? I fell in love with this movie so heavily. It's just incredible. This is a compilation of several clips, performances from MGM musicals going all the way back to the first days of talkies, the late 1920s. And it's just wonderful. It's got all the big stars from MGM, Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, Judy Garland, Eleanor Powell, Esther Williams. I mean, and the people who appear in the movie to introduce and talk about the various subjects and the various stars. We have people like Frank Sinatra, who was actually the host of the film, Fred Astaire, Bing Crosby, Gene Kelly, Mickey Rooney, Donald O'Connor. Donald O'Connor is terrific. He introduces a segment on Esther Williams, the films of Esther Williams where she swam her way to cinematic glory. We have Debbie Reynolds and Elizabeth Taylor, and I'm missing some. Liza Minnelli is in it. Now, of course, Liza Minnelli has nothing to do with MGM except that she's the daughter of two people who work there, but she's there primarily to talk about her mother, Judy Garland, and gives a great segment on Judy. And also because Liza's husband at the time, Jack Haley Jr., was the man who produced and I think directed the film. Yeah, I think he directed it. Directed, produced. So that's why she's in it. But it's great. It's a fantastic collection of clips. And this is a movie that I would go to see the matinee and then go back in the evening and see it with the big crowd of people at the 7 o'clock showing. And I did that a couple of times. I saw it a total of, I think I'm remembering this correctly, I saw it 14 times. And just couldn't get enough of it. I even have the soundtrack album. So that shows you how crazy I am, right? Now, of course, That's Entertainment was succeeded by a couple of sequels, and we have this nice little box set. 3 versions of That's Entertainment, and then another disc full of extra features. It's really terrific, and there's so many things in it to love. But that's probably the only time that I kept a running count. That was really one of the beginning stages for me of becoming a really serious movie freak. I had always loved old movies, going back to watching them on the early show and the late show back in the 60s, but I didn't know that much. My knowledge was just kind of slowly gathering, I guess, and this really got me excited about wanting to know more and wanting to see more films. So yeah, That's Entertainment. Anybody seen this? Anybody like this movie? I still can watch this and enjoy everything about it. Okay, now some of the other films that I can watch. Let's see, it's interesting. I was thinking about this, and there are a lot of movies that I love that I want to watch maybe once a year, because I don't, for some reason, I kind of put those apart. Like, I set those apart because I don't want them to become so regular in my life that I stop paying close attention to them. Does that make any sense? My number one film of all time is still The Night of the Hunter. Now, I love that movie. Love it to death. I've seen it on the big screen, and I watch it maybe once a year. Every time I watch it, it's an event, and I don't want to see it, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 times a year. And I feel that way about Vertigo, Alfred Hitchcock, also about the John Frankenheimer film Seconds, which I love. I don't watch that very often. It's kind of sacred. I want to keep that as a special event. Now, some of my other top 10 films, All About Eve, starring Bette Davis, I can watch that again and again, repeat all the dialogue with the characters, and still get involved with it. For some reason, I don't. That is a cinematic classic. It's a great work of art, and yet it's one of those comfort films that I can go to. Black Sunday is the same way. That is an amazing work of art, gothic mystery, gothic horror, and it's so beautiful to look at. It's impossible not to get mesmerized by it again and again, and yet I can watch that. I could get up on Christmas morning and put on Black Sunday. It would seem very normal to me. I can watch, let's see, the movie The Bat with Vincent Price and Agnes Moorehead. I love that movie, and it's no longer a mystery at all, but it's just so much fun to watch. One of the films I could watch again and again is the Ray Dennis Steckler low-budget classic, The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed-Up Zombies. So those are just some of the films that I could watch again and again and always enjoy. And I guess that's about all I want to say. But yeah, I keep some of the films, like The Night of the Hunter, I keep those in a different place, I guess. Those are always meant to be maybe a once-a-year event. And I don't know why that is. It's all a matter of personal taste. So anyway, thanks for joining me for a nice rum and coke. Have a good evening. And what are the films that you can watch again and again? Why don't you give me a nice response and join us, make a video, and comments are welcome.